Hello and welcome to another episode of the PLAC Podcast. So this podcast series is funded by the European Union under the European Union Support to Democratic Governance in Nigeria, EU-SDGN II program. My name is Lilian Ari and I'm your host for today. I'm from Nasarawa State, and today we'll be having a very interesting conversation on a topic that I would say almost every young Nigerian in Nigeria would have asked at least once this year. And that question is Nigeria hard or are we just adulting? So with me here in the studio, I have three very important guests who I would allow to introduce themselves today, starting from my, just opposite me.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Mukhtar and I'm from Bauchi State.
Hello everyone, my name is unpack. I'm from Sokoto State.
Hello everyone, my name is Jerry Kainebi. I'm from Delta State.
Nice to meet you all and thank you for coming today. All right, so let's start with this question, right? What does adulting mean to you? Let's start with Umar. You can just tell us.
Well, adulting to me, from my own point of view, is taking responsibility of myself, deciding for myself, and then bearing the consequences of my decision. So that's a term what adulting to us.
Okay.
Generally, I will agree with what he said. And to me, adulting is also like taking responsibility for yourself, not blaming others for your mistakes, and generally like bearing the consequences of everything that you do day in and day out.
Okay, so in addition to what they have said, the adulthood is all about navigating the challenges and the experiences that come to being an adult, especially in Nigeria. So that's basically how I see it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll say for me, adulting is all about navigating, the various aspects of life and finding balance in the midst of it all. And also understand that sometimes that balance is not just, I'll say linear. Balance is not linear. Sometimes different aspects of your life have to take the forefront at different seasons. So what moment would you say made you realize that, oh wait, I'm now an adult? Sadiq, let's start from you.
For me, the moment I realized that I'm an adult is when I couldn't ask my parents for anything. Yeah. It's a bit like I cannot ask for transport money like I normally do. They'll be like, are you serious right now? Like normally I will ask them money for fuel, or if I'm going somewhere there, I can ask them anything. Like I realized that when you were like you can figure that out yourself. So that's just it from like finding out that I cannot ask them for anything. So I realized that okay, now it's time to take the responsibility of figuring out what I want to do, like finding out money that I'm able to sort my things out.
Yeah.
So basically that's it.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. You have something to add?
Okay, for me, the moment I realized I was now an adult was when I had to start funding myself in school. Because part of the final part of my education, I had to face that by myself. I had to acquire skills, do jobs and everything. So the moment where the money wasn't coming from home as it was meant to, and I had to balance that with academics, be in charge of my feeding and everything, it just made me realize that, okay, bro, life has started.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, generally, do we think adulthood is supposed to be this hard? Or is it just Nigeria? Is there the Nigerian factor? Mark, let's start.
Well, everywhere in the part of the world, I think adulthood comes with its own consequences. It's not really easy everywhere.
Yeah.
But then those, developed countries, their system works for them. That's why, at some point, adulthood is manageable. But then in Nigeria, our system doesn't work. And then those effects could to cushion, effect of the adulthood is not there. And that's why we see it as a marathon race here in Nigeria for being, for bearing the consequences of adulthood. So that's my understanding too.
But what do you think would be like the hardest thing for a young Nigerian, like in Nigeria, like the hardest challenge that we are facing?
Well, I can say, we go out to hustle. Let me use that word, But then transportation, we don't have a good transport system.
Yeah.
Being transportation tends to, consume part of what you've owed, in your pocket, and then let me see, maybe you've moved out to be on your own, the rent fees, and the rest of the things.
Yes.
I can mention
I actually like that you mentioned rent fees because Jerry now laughed. So, Jerry, please tell us, is there something about rent that is making you laugh?
I paid my rent this morning.
Wow.
So the debit alert is still waking.
It's still shocking you.
Yeah, so yes, that's adulthood.
Okay. So for you, would you say that is a financial reality that like shocked you the most, or is there something else?
Okay, well, still what I said, paying your rent is a normal thing, right? But how do you get the money to do that, right? So we are living in an economy where as much as you try to navigate your own success, you are still constrained by certain things in the environment, certain policies and opportunities that are not as available as you expect them to. So being able to go through all that and still work out something for yourself and have that kind of debit alert is a challenge. But there, get moving.
So Dick, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I mean, like being an adult is challenging everywhere you go in the way.
Yeah.
But like, so people used to say, if you are born in Nigeria, you're already like 2 goals behind. You have to catch up this time. So we have to do the necessary things to be on the ground level with other people in other societies. And then we are also like have to do whatever we need to do to come up on our own.
Yeah.
So normally, like most part of the world, you are a graduate, you can go out and find a job anywhere. Like you can do menial job and be able to pay your rent with that kind of work. But here in Nigeria, that's not the case. Even if you are working in the government institution, you still have to do other things to fend for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just the things that he said, like making policies that will, benefit the common working man in Nigeria. So that's just it.
I actually like what you said about, like being in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have something called black tax. We know black tax now. Exactly. So there are family expectations, there are cultural norms that we have to deal with. And do you think like this kind of shapes how it also affects how we live, like with our finances, things like that?
That's true. It's
Okay, you want to just
actually affects us like so much.
Yeah.
Because there's so much expectation when it comes to like our social norms. You cannot do certain things out of the norm. Like you cannot every decision that you're making, you have to think about someone else.
Yes.
You cannot just go and make some certain decision, like whether it's your like in the society, whether it's a religious based like a thing that you want to do, you just have to think about whatever it is, so that you like not offend somebody or some certain, maybe sometimes even your parents, like you do some certain things and be like, maybe they will object to this, even though the thing might not be like illegal. There are still people that like have some certain expectation that you cannot go beyond that. So like it's very challenging, because if we can go out of our norm and do some certain things, I think like it will be much easier for us like to not care about what other people think about it.
That's true. I think you wanted to say something.
Yeah, based on that part, I think in Nigeria you don't just adult yourself.
Yes.
See that you adult yourself, you adult your younger kids, and even the immediate society within you. And then equally, just like you talk about the cultural norms, I come from a culture where at some certain age, we even get married early. Maybe latest, let me say 17 or 18. But then things are now changing. I mean, here I am at 25. I'm not yet married. So
I am not seen it.
So that is how things, starts to evolve within the time. But then here we are in the adulthood age, and you're right.
Okay, Jerry, do you have something to add on that?
Okay, yes. As regards how family influences, in a place like Nigeria, Nigeria is land of the bold. But there are persons who they come from families where they are constrained to be quiet, to be reserved. They are trained to not take risk and everything. And if you're a young person who is coming from a background like that, and you want to do your adulting in Nigeria, you will have to go beyond that. You have to take that bold step. So I feel it's easier for some and it's not for others. But however, if you're listening to this, regardless of the background you come from, if you're living in Nigeria, you just have to take that step.
But sometimes like going out of the norm like it comes with a certain scrutiny. Like there's backlash.
Yes.
Like you cannot do some certain things, but like no matter how you think about it, some people might like castrate you out of the society.
Yes, that's true.
Something.
Yeah, because I think I would say,
But it depends on what you are doing. Depends on what you are doing. Depends on what you are doing.
Not entirely, because sometimes even when the thing you're doing is good, but it's out of, like there's just this.
Like you're not a bad person.
Exactly.
I can give you a perfect example. I think from the culture I come from. I think if a lady exceeds 25, she's not married. They will start seeing her
There's something wrong.
as something wrong.
Oh,
Well,
that's true. That's true.
Like every part of your life is being like you have an expectation that comes with that. People that you associate with, people that you are going to get married to, the kind of work that you do. Like there's some certain jobs that you are not allowed to go there. Some certain cultures. You understand? So like even though the job might not be illegal, it's just that people like if you're working, like if you're doing the kind of job, they will be looking at you like sideways. So like societal norms, like I think they hinder our progress a lot.
okay, that's very interesting. But I'd like us now to digress a bit to what I would like to call, let me say, the elephants in the room, which is social media. Because a lot of people, right, we're talking about societal norms and cultural norms.
Yeah.
Meaning there was a way we used to do things before, but with the coming of social media, there's a way we do things now because of the things that we see outside. Do you get? So as young adults, do we think that social media has a very huge impact on the way we live today? Or not really do we think, rather, because I believe we do think that it has an impact, right? But more like that impact it has, is it creating more pressure on us compared to the pressure that we're already supposed to have, like just facing adulting? What do you think?
Honestly, it is.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the fact that I would just see something on somebody's reel and then
Yeah.
I'll think that person is successful and then I will want to copy from him. I don't know the gallows on his way to reaching there, what he has encountered. I don't know the struggles he's having offline. I'm just seeing the online aspect of it and like this guy is successful and then
Yes.
I just want to be like him overnight. So honestly, that's my thing.
Well, for me, what I think when it comes to social media and pressure, I think it's dependent on you as a person, your perspective. Pressure can be positive, pressure can be negative. I can see a post about someone today doing well and choose to be encouraged and inspired. And somebody else can see that same post and feel discouraged and pressured. So I think it falls back to the only way we can handle this aspect, because in truth it will never end. It keeps getting worse every day. We have people on social media who are true, we have people who are false, who show different kind of realities.
Yeah.
So one way to handle pressure like that is to first of all understand who you are. Know where you are coming from, know what you want, and decide the kind of perspective you want to use to view life, right? So you can see something bad on social media and it basically just prompts you to say, okay, you know what? I don't want to go through this kind of experience. So I'm going to make a different set of decisions. You can see someone doing so well, even if it's not really true, but because you see them doing so well, it also inspires you to make different set of decisions. So I think it's just dependent on you as a person having the right orientation.
Okay. But Jerry, let me ask you. Sorry, let me ask you a personal question now, but for this question, okay, I'm going to ask all of us, but for this question, we listen, we don't judge. We listen, we don't judge. So this question now, but for you, have you ever compared your journey to someone online? And if you have, like, give us a very real situation.
Oh yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have. So in university, I know someone that attended the same university with me, who currently runs one of the top law firms, right, in Abuja. Some of his clients are celebrities and everything. I think this was my junior in university, right? So I've seen that. I remember I was talking to somebody one time and I was like, oh, this guy, yeah, I know him right from. The person was like, okay, so what do you now do? And I was like, I do what I do,
You do stuff
and everything. So there was just this temptation to feel somehow about it, but then I realized that everybody's journey is different. So rather, I reached out to the person and I see what you are doing. Well done. That was me killing the pride a little bit. I get choosing to be encouraged by it. So
okay, bye-bye.
For you, I was actually about to describe you and say like it doesn't put pressure on anybody. But
Okay.
once I heard what he said, I was like, okay, that makes sense, because like it's just dependent on the individual, to be honest. Like for me, I really actually use social media as well. I actually
Wow.
use it for news. I find like I just go on there, like see what's going on in the world, and then go out. I stopped using social media like from my first year in the university. Once I realized that this is not good for me, I'm like, okay, so like, what's the use of this? It's just people putting their lifestyle there, and then you are just reviewing it, and there's no use for it. So I just feel like it's people have to people have to be more aware that social media is not like a real life stuff. People will set up cameras, do different angles, have lighting,
Yeah.
and then you could be like, okay, this is this person's reality, which is nice. So like if you have more awareness that this thing is not real, you don't need to keep going like scrolling there in and there. Like there won't be any pressure on me. Like you will just be like, I'm living my life the way I've deemed it fits. So like I was continuing living like this.
Yeah.
No problem. We'll come back to you, but Umar, answer first.
Yeah, to first point of Jeremy,
Yeah.
just like he said, it's not everything. I'm not criticizing everyone who is on media, and then there are the good ones also on media, not the bad ones. But then there was a certain point, it had effect in me, being like emotionally.
Yeah.
I think it was when, back then in school days, when I was the SUG president of my school, and then I attended a matriculation ceremony of level 1 students. And then I was just snapped with my criminology and security students who are actually on an assignment that they are teaching them how to protect VIPs. And then they were at my back because as their president, I'm a VIP too. So they just snapped me, and then the next morning I saw on social media that I am attending classes in convoy and with DSS.
I think I saw that. I
was like,
sorry.
Convoy to wait.
So that is, the rate of how people tend to use social media.
Yeah.
I don't know, is it for followers or what, but then they're actually the good ones too on social media.
That's true. And for our generation, a lot of people actually use social media as a coping mechanism, like to run away from all the other problems. Do you get? So Sadiq, I was actually going to ask you, since you don't use social media, what do you use to cope with, adulting and the stress and all of that?
Like mostly I watch movies.
Okay.
I actually play sports a lot. I work out a lot.
Oh, okay.
So most of them.
Gym body.
No, I play basketball. Then I run.
Okay.
Like that's the mostly thing that passionate. And apart from that, like I just watch movies and then that's it.
Okay, Jerry, what do you use to cope?
Prayer.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Brother Jerry. Okay.
No, it's very important that
Yeah.
I try to take my relationship with God seriously, and then I try to build the right relationships.
Yeah.
I try to surround myself with persons who are doing well in their endeavors, people who inspire me to make the right decisions. I try to have the right mentors, and then I just try to put myself in the right environment. Now, for example, being in PLAC, has given me the opportunity to connect with my fellow interns from across Nigeria. I've never had this experience before.
Yeah.
Hearing their different perspectives, hearing their thoughts, seeing the excellence in PLAC and how that affects what we do in the course of our work. So these are little things that helps a person cope. It helps you see that, okay, if I'm not the only one who wants to make out something, like there are also persons in other states in Nigeria
That's true.
who wants to make out something in life. So
That's very true. Umar, let me make it a bit more, it's the same question, but for you, like, just give us like a practical habit that you use to manage adulting.
Well, from point of view of my religion, when we read the Holy Quran, there's this calmness, and then attentiveness to someone. So I fancy that a lot. And then also I set boundaries. If it's it's yes. I'm going out to kill myself.
Yes.
And then also I seek to seek advice, and then paving way for my helper to locate me and help me as well. So that is.
Okay, so let me ask us the question of the day. And that question is Nigeria hard or are we adulting? What do you think? Who wants to start? Okay.
I think it's both.
Okay.
Adulting is challenging every part of the world. So and in Nigeria is very, very hard.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Which one is
Like
that?
if Nigeria is hard, like how hard do you think Nigeria is?
10.
Oh wow.
Guys, we are 10.
Your great country.
Yes.
Okay.
Like we're facing great challenges today.
Yeah.
Also, like it's getting better, but it's actually pretty challenging.
Yeah.
And then we look forward to the next generation creating changes that will make the life of the normal person much easier than it is now.
Okay.
I think let me start with I equally goes with him with both. But then let me start
That Nigeria is also 10.
struggle like the boats like, but then I would
Okay.
rate 7 to 8.
Okay.
It's okay. Let me say Nigeria is hard, looking at the economic policies. This is where you just wake up and then hear that prices are so higher, and then without any early warning or anything, you just wake up tomorrow and then they decided that okay, this price is not like before. So and then you see talking, back when I said the fare of our rent, the transport, our spendings are not tallying with what we are getting as maybe expenses, and then getting to maybe life getting harder. But then on the other side too, as I told you, in everywhere adulting is nice.
Yeah.
But then system works in developed countries, and then this is where in Nigeria our system doesn't work, and then it gets to do adulting. So you can see it's just like you've been on a marathon sport, extreme sport, trying to survive on the both. Honestly, it doesn't be easy for the both.
Okay, Jerry, over here.
Okay, I would say adulting is hard.
The skill, first of all.
In this case,
Yes,
how?
1 to 10.
Okay, so let's go 1 to 10. How hard Nigeria?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I would say an 8. Right. As much as yes, there's a temptation to say 10, but I would say an 8 because as a young person trying to navigate your success in the country, it's not all that bad, right? There are certain principles you can still apply to help you. There are certain things you can still do. You can learn the right skills. You can connect with the right people. The truth is, Nigeria is a place where you just have to plot your graph properly. So if you don't know how to plot your graph, if you don't know how to build connections, don't know how to put the pieces together, it's a 10 for you.
Yeah.
Right? So I would just say an 8. Then in terms of if adulting is hard, adulting is not easy. It's hard. But in Nigeria, it's harder.
So like the reason why I said that is 10 is because like the certain situation in Nigeria. Like in Nigeria now, not to make this very political stuff, but in Nigeria now you have to be careful where you are. Like you have to be careful where you are going to. Like you have to actually think about whatever you do. You are not just going out and trying to figure things out. You are actually being careful about where you go and what you do. So like we're not only thinking about ourselves, we're actually thinking about our safety. So in a country whereby like the safety is an issue, like it makes things 10 times worse. Because just imagine that you don't have to worry about your safety. We can go from here to Lagos by road. You can move from here to Sokoto by road. You understand? Things would have been much easier. Like policies are put in place that things are, so like it's just.
I said 8 so that we will not be sad. You're just a bit coastal.
Additionally too, this is a time where we do things you need to prioritize. I mean, before if you have 5 things you can do the 5 and then you don't give it them. But then you need to prioritize things now because of the way you conflict. And then this is where now your bills comes with bills in Nigeria. So that is
Okay, very interesting. For me, I'll say Nigeria is not hard, but just not Nepo babies. That's why.
No, that's okay.
you can think no. I go with, but then
Yeah.
this is when, like, have you asked your parents at their age, like when they're at your age, and then you compare yourself now between you and them?
True, Sha. True. The realities are different. That's true. All right. So as we wrap up, let's just give one statement to advise any young Nigerian that is also in this phase, navigating this phase. Just any advice that you have, any words of encouragement.
Okay. To me, I say, we should not give up. There shouldn't be harm in trying, and then what is meant for I believe what is meant for you issue when it comes to you.
Yeah.
So in the process of struggling, you might meet what you want. So you don't want to lean back and say, okay, the country doesn't evolve and then wait for a miracle to happen. No, it doesn't work that way. We need to give our own efforts, for things to work for us. That's it.
Okay.
For me, I would say like it's very good to have good ethics and morals. Like it's always pays off. It's very good to be patriotic. Like even though we have lessons of people that are not patriotic in Nigeria, but it is good for us to have faith in our country. Like going forward, we might be the actual people that bring change in the future. So we should just put faith in ourselves, in the country, in our system, and then things might get better from there.
All right.
Okay, I would just say two things. First thing I would say for Nigerian youth today, with the reality that we are living in right now, this might be unconventional, but fall in love with doing the hard things that matter. What that means is, the truth is, if you want to succeed in Nigeria, make out sort, it's not easy. But then you have to give yourself to the process. You already just accept the reality that it's not easy, and just give yourself to the process. Find out what you need to get to where you are going. And the second thing I want to say is, try which as possible to just surround yourself with a lot of positivity. If social media at some point gets toxic for you, it's okay to take a break, right? Always put yourself in an environment where you be around young people like you who are passionate, who are hopeful, and who are doing their best to make ourselves for themselves. And you
Actually, I agree with what you said, like so much that you have to be around positive people all the time. Like for me, being in PLAC exposes me to like a lot of things that I was not even aware of.
Yes.
Like a lot of intelligent people around me, like I can get to pick their brain on one or two, day in and day out. Like for the whole time when we were here, I keep learning things every day. So I think surrounding yourself with positivity is like it's always good.
Yes, okay. Additionally, I think Jerry started with something earlier that, having aligned yourself with people from different, from statistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've never been to some part of a country, and then you wouldn't know what they are up to, or how they live,
How
or
they
they are.
live, yeah.
But then coming here, you will see that it's different from what some people are actually telling us. I mean, you can see someone from let me say River State. He's having this notion of he doesn't want to go to North. Why? Because there's this notion of everywhere in North is also express. That has to do it has effect on us too. But then equally telling me that I should not go to there because of iPod or the rest of the things. This kind of motions, and it's all social media, affecting our daily thinking, and then it has to be there. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, so we've come to the end of this podcast today, and I just want to say a very big thank you to my fellow interns, and we are all saying a big thank you to the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center for a platform like this where we get to connect with other young people that have the same mind and share similar visions. So we say a very big thank you. Once again, this has been the PLAC Podcast. My name is Lilian Ari. I remain your host from Nasarawa State. Thank you.